generation. No more standing out in line. So good at wasting our time. We are the lazy generation. We are the lazy generation. We are the lazy generation now.
Hello and welcome to round 5 of the 2008 GP4 Offline League Championship. I am Stallo, also known as George Roke, and I am by myself this week. I am not with Joseph Willows, who, due to other commitments, will not be commentating with me this week. But we are here at the Circuit de Catalunya for round 5. And after a wet qualifying, Waze Kuba took a very surprising pole position ahead of Felix Sontag in second place, with Will Neller third and James Willows an impressive fourth. George Roke in fifth, Paige Knight in sixth. Moving on, Jack Boyman in 7th with George Roke's teammate Jay McKenzie in 8th place. In 9th was Sam Thompson with Evan Byrne in the Toyota in 10th. A good qualifying for him with Joseph Willows and Yuri Mata, not good for the McLarens, in the middle of the pack in 11th and 12th. With Finley Strachan 13th, Roland Morchin in 14th, Alex Southgate and Dominic D'Alessio, the two Hondas, in 15th and 16th. Volker and Gal, the two Toro Rossos, 17th and 18th. And then Holst and Dmitry Surkov, two Super Aguris, and then at the back it is Adam Wolf and Azul Zafri. And that was my mistake, actually. It was not the Force Indies and Super Aguris, that was my fault. But anyway, let's move on to the race. As you can see, the race will be a dry race, as it always is at the Spanish Grand Prix, so we are about to get underway. And here we are on the grid now. The lights are about to come on. There's 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the lights are out and away we go, and I think Kuba makes a decent start, but I think has Nella taken the lead? No, Kuba has made a great start. But is he going to get swamped into turn 1? The two Ferraris are right on his tail, and here comes Nella on the inside into turn 1. There's a lot moving about in the pack, but I think Kuba might have just about... Oh, there's a crash. That's Moichin, Kuba's teammate, and a Honda as well. I don't know who that was, D'Alessio. And that at the back, I don't know if Kuba has kept the lead, but this is what happened. This is on board with D'Alessio, who just, unfortunately, Moichin really moved out in front of D'Alessio, and also I think he got hit. Was that by... I think that was by his teammate, he got hit by, was it? Yes, it was. It was D'Alessio's teammate, and unfortunately I can't remember who it is, but he's been hit by his own teammate there, and now that is him out of the race. As we go back to the action, who is leading at the front? And it was Southgate, that's who D'Alessio's teammate was. I do apologise, I've forgotten there. Master's not made a good start, he's dropped down to 13th. And by the look of it, Kuba has kept the lead ahead of Nella. A dramatic start here at the Spanish Grand Prix. You can see confirmation, Moichin is out of the race, and so is D'Alessio. But surely, is Waze Kuba going to hold on to this lead? I don't think he can, as he got pole in the wet, as the Renault on dry just doesn't really have the pace. So, to be honest, it will only be a matter of time, and Nella is already trying to have a go at Kuba. And here is Sontag trying to get past George Roke, and that was, I think, Thompson having a bit of trying to get past James Willows there, as we're coming down into the final chicane, probably the worst corner in Formula 1, to be honest. I really hate this chicane. And Nella is right behind Kuba. Is he going to get ahead of him down the front straight? As he's right behind him, he's going to have the slipstream. He's already right behind his tail. Kuba will lead this lap, and Nella's the fastest one. He's on the inside. The yellow flags are still out though, and he does overtake. He looked like he was passed when the marshal was waving that yellow flag, and Nella takes the lead. There are the green flags, so I don't know what the officials will say about that. But Will Nella takes the lead ahead of Kuba as Southgate is in the pits. That is going to destroy his race, unfortunately, after that hitting his own teammate there, after hitting D'Alessio. And that is quite unfortunate for him. So just he'll hope that probably enough cars retire for him to, I suppose, get something out of the race, really. As here is Kuba, who, as Sontag has actually now got past George Roke for 3rd place, and he'll now be after the Belgian driver. It's not been a good season for Sontag, as we skipped to lap 3, and here is McKenzie, here's Willows, sorry, who is behind the Williams there of Jack Boyman, and he's going to overtake him into turn 1, and he does so. with pretty comfortably, I have to say. As here is Strachan. Oh, there's a big pile of cars. Oh, and Holst has hit the back of, I believe that is Finley Strachan. And Sam Thompson, I think, he's got a problem. He's holding up this pack of cars as the Toyota goes around the outside of him. So he's going to have to go into the pits, and he's holding up this train of cars as he doesn't let the Force India go through very easily there. Doesn't let Holst, I think that was, go through as he goes into the pits, and so will the Force India behind him of Holst. And that was actually exactly, as you can see on the replay, what happened with Holst. He was catching up to this group of cars that were being held up behind Thompson, and he just didn't stop in time and hits the back of Finley Strachan, and that means that those cars are going to both have to go into pits, as you can fix rear wings in this game, as here they are coming into the pits. So already a lot of action, and it was a throttle problem that was Thompson's problem, which meant that's why he was going so slowly. He was obviously having couldn't go much faster than he was. As in the pits he comes, fix that problem. That will probably wreck his race as well. And Holst, who had a good race, who has had a good season so far, and nearly got a points finish in Bahrain. As he comes out the pits, and here comes Southgate, who's going to gain a couple of positions from this. As they come out of the pits, onto the pit straight, Holst down into 20th place, and here is Nella, and I believe Sontag has now got past Kuba, and here is Marta, who's going on the inside of Jack Boyman up into 7th place. Not been a decent start for him. He had dropped to 13th, but he's now recovered. And here comes Joseph Willows, also going past Jack Boyman, and he does make the move stick into turn 1. And here is Marta going on the inside of Mackenzie. Has he made the move stick? Yes, he has. That's a good move there from Yuri Marta, who's trying to make his way up the order. As here is Marta going past George Rote now, in 5th place. George Rote has fallen quite far back, and Marta set the fastest lap, which proves how quick he is so far in this race, as he overtakes Rote into turn 1, and see how much further he can go up the order. Been a good race so far from Marta, and here is this Waze Kuba? I think it is Waze Kuba, with James Willows behind him, and it was sadly obvious that it was unfortunate that Kuba wasn't going to be able to have the pace to keep the lead. Let's just see where he'll finish at the end, as James Willows goes past him. Here is Evan Byrne going past his teammate Paige Knight for 10th place, and there is Jack Boyman just up ahead, so they're not too far away from him. They could close up on him before too long, as they're coming round this long right-hander. As here is Joseph Willows going past Mackenzie now, makes the move stick into turn 1, as here comes Marta, who's now passing James Willows for 3rd place. Here comes, looks like, is that Roke that's trying to get past Kuba? Ooh, there's nearly contact. Actually, no, it's Mackenzie, sorry. As here comes Byrne, who's going past Jack Boyman for 9th place, 1 place below the points positions, as he makes the move stick. And here is Southgate, who's going past Gal for 17th, but he's managed to catch up to the back of these guys. And does he make the move stick into turn 1? Yes, he does. That is a good move there. As here's Thompson, who's right behind, who wants to recover up the order. And is he going to make the move stick coming into turn 4? No, he doesn't. Oh, and that is James Willows. James Willows. Oh, James Willows. He was doing so well. He was up into 3rd place, and he has a problem. That is very, very disappointing for James Willows, and he throws the car into the wall in frustration at his car's reliability. And that is him out of the race. Our third retirement of the day. And it was an electrical problem which caused him to retire on lap 16. As into the pits comes Yuri Marta. Made a good recovery so far. Is he going to be able to get a podium out of this race? That is the question. Let's see how long this pit stop is. It's 9.7 seconds. That's a decent stop. When the McLaren pit crew, and out he comes into 10th place, I believe. And Byrne being overtaken, I think, by his teammate there, Page Knight. Does he have a problem? He looks to be going quite slow, or is that just me? Doesn't look to particularly be going that fast. Seems to be dropping away a fair bit. And he has an electrical problem. So he is going to have to go into the pits. It's disappointing for Byrne, who's doing really well so far in this race, but I suppose it won't come at too bad of a time for him. This is around the time where the pit stops are now going to start to come in for a 2-stop, so I suppose this won't be too bad for him, really. And into the pits he comes on lap 18. So this won't be too bad, I reckon, for Byrne. I reckon he'll probably still be able to get a decent result out of this. The problem is now fixed, and away he will go. A 9.3 stop for him there. As into the pits comes Florin Volker. Toro Rosso, he had a really good start to the season. He came in the points in 6th place in Australia, but hasn't had too much luck since then. As into the pits also now comes Joseph Willows here on lap 22 out of 66. How long is this stop going to be? It is a 9.8. That's also not too bad a stop there. So he will come into the pits. Come out of the pits probably around about 10, and into the pits comes Waze Kuba. Kuba would not have expected to do that well in qualifying, getting a pole position, but he's not done too bad, so he hasn't dropped down the order too much. Though he could still get a decent points finish here. 10.5, so a bit slow there from the Renault crew. And now Jack Boyman also into the pits. They changed the tyres. See how long his stop will be. 10.9 second stop. Oh, and he's had to wait for Zafri to go into the pits in front of him. So that is going to cost Boyman some time there. Yeah, it might lose him a couple of positions because of that. Zafri does a 5.1 stop there. And into the pits comes Paige Knight. Been an okay race for her so far. Doing too bad, just outside the points. See if she can get any points during this race. And now Will Neller finally comes into the pits on lap 27 of the Grand Prix. I imagine this will probably be his only stop. Well, actually no, I reckon he'll probably make another stop quite late on in the race. But he comes in, and I believe one of the Saubers is going to come in as well. He does the 10.2. I wonder who that is. He don't coming out of the pits, and is Mackenzie, who is coming into the pits this time round. As Gal also comes into the pits down in the 19th place. Rogue is still out on track, so Sontag, for the moment, takes the lead of the Grand Prix as he now comes into the pits on the same lap. And I imagine the BMW Sauber career ahead, that will most likely be for George Roke. Well, that will be for George Roke since Mackenzie just made his stop. Let's see how this is an 8.2 second stop there from Sontag. So that is a good stop by the Ferrari pit crew. As out on track he will come. Nella will retake the lead of the race, or will he? This might be actually quite close. Sontag, no, I think no, it's got it. Here is Joseph Willows, who's gone very wide at turn 1. He has gone well wide of the track, and he's lost it. And he's lost it right in front of the Toro Rosso of Gal. If it couldn't go any worse for Gal, it has now. He has broken his front wing, and that is going to cost Joseph Willows dearly, as Waze Kuba, I believe that is, that goes back past him. And so that is not gone very well for Joseph Willows. He's not had the best of luck this season. He's going to drop probably out of the points with that, as Gal also passes him to compound his misery. See what happens here. He just probably brakes a bit too late. He goes wide, he rejoins, he goes over the curb, but then he loses it. And then there is Gal, who had nowhere to go, and unfortunately hit the front of him, loses whole of his front wing. but that is going to cost Joseph Willows a lot of position, as Thompson does the exact same thing. He loses it and he spins as well, but he's not going to be in the way of any of the cars, so hopefully he'll avoid a collision as he waits for all the drivers to go past. As he now rejoins the track, drops down to 18th place, so it's not been a very good race for him at all. And that is Mackenzie. Mackenzie has got a problem. Mackenzie has got a problem, and he is pulled off the side of the track, and that is going to cost him a podium place. And he's left his car partly on the track. But what is the problem he has? It is a puncture. He's had a puncture. And as here is Kuba and Roke also behind, and here's Byrne also into the pits now. The Roke is now on the back of Kuba. See how long it will be until he overtakes him. He's gone into the pits, the yellow flag is now out. Byrne is at 5.1 as he comes out, and Azul Zafri is at the moment going to be in 8th place. I don't know if he has made a stop or not. I'm not actually sure. I think I can't actually remember if he made a stop or not. But at the moment he's in 7th place. This is good for him, but he's got Joseph Willows right off his backside. I imagine he's going to overtake him coming into turn 4, and he does just that. So Willows actually didn't drop as far as I expected he would. As into the pits now comes Sontag. 11.1 second stop there, and this will most likely be his final pit stop until the end of the race. As out of the pits he comes. I think he's going to stay in the good place, but he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. As you know, Marta is going to be in front in 3rd, so he's going to have to deal with all this traffic in front of him. Marta is just trying to negotiate through right now. Nella is well clear at the front, but he'll have to make another pit stop soon as he comes round onto the back straight. It's been a good race so far for Nella. None of the Ferraris have had problems yet. As into the pits also is now Roke, who's had a decent season so far. Hasn't took pole position in Australia, just didn't win that. Unfortunately, he came in 3rd place, but it's been a good season. Came 3rd out in Bahrain. He could have got a 1-2 where Nella nearly gave away. Second by spinning with a few laps left, but Ferrari's pace was too much because he was set the fastest lap of the race by half a second quicker than anyone else, so couldn't hold on. So it was a great race last week for both BMW Salvers, especially for Mackenzie. So Mackenzie will definitely not be happy with that. He'll want to just get to the next race now. As Surkov is in 11th, Wolf is in 10th. Good race from the Super Guru. Zafri did make his stop, and he's dropped down into 13th place. Into the pits now is Kuba. He's drove a steady race so far. As he comes out of the pits, where will he come out? Will he come out in front of George Roke? As this is Sontag. Sontag has made a mistake. He's gone well wide onto the gravel. He's managed to avoid the wall, but that is a mistake which has fortunately not cost him any positions. He's managed to fortunately get away with that. As here is Marta in 2nd, trying to go past the Force India to lap him. As he makes the move past Safri into turn 1. He does so pretty easily. Roke is all the way down actually. Knight, Byrne's going to make a stop. Knight's going to make a stop. Nella is just in a class of his own at the moment. He's absolutely dominated this race. So he's about to come out to lap actually George Roke and Waze Kuba in front of him, as well as probably Byrne, the two Toyotas, sorry, of Knight and Byrne. But I imagine they'll probably have to make a stop soon, so he may not necessarily lap them yet. As Jack Boyman is now in the pits and so is Joseph Willows as well. Williams, Boyman with Williams and Willows from McLaren. As he now comes into the pits for his last stop of the race. As Nella now does, as I expected, come into the pits. Been a very comfortable race for Nella so far. He's just begging right now that the mechanical gremlins that have haunted Ferrari, especially Sontag, this season will not haunt him at the end of this one. He needs to win this one to have, well, just needs to win this one just to end his bad luck, really, as Martin will overtake him now, take the lead of the Grand Prix. So here comes Sontag around the final corner. Nella comes out comfortably in second place as Martin now comes into the pits just a lap later. In a good recovery so far from Martin. He didn't have the greatest of starts. He dropped down to 13th from 11th place, but he's had a very good recovery and he's gonna easily grab himself a podium, I reckon, unless he has any other problems. You can picture Gal and Thompson. Thompson has to wait for Gal to come into the pits before he comes in, as we have skipped all the way to lap 65. So obviously not much had happened in the previous in the amount of time that we were watching. I suppose it is the Spanish Grand Prix and not usually a lot happens in this race, to be honest. It's usually quite a boring Grand Prix. Again, I don't particularly like this track myself. I think I suppose the layout was better without that stupid chicane at the end, but anyway, Will Nella is leading on the final lap. He's comfortably led this race, having taken the lead from Waze Kuba at the start. It's been a great race for him so far, as he's about to lap Joseph Willows. Well, actually, if he catches him, George Roque is there in 6th place, so he did not actually catch up to Waze Kuba in 5th. So a good race by Waze Kuba as well, who managed to hold off Roque for the majority of the race, having been behind him. So well done to Kuba, who will finish in 5th. A very good result for him, and that will definitely liven up the spirits at Renault, as they've not had a particularly great season so far, a bit like they have in real life Formula 1. They haven't had a particularly great season there, but here has been the same. But this will liven up spirits as Miller is coming around the final chicane, leading this race. He's led it from start to finish, having taken the lead from Kuba. Will Nella comes round the final corner, and he will win the Spanish Grand Prix here at the Circuit de Catalunya. He takes the checkered flag. A very, very comfortable victory over Sontag, who's 18 seconds behind him, with Marta going to come home in 3rd place. So there goes Boyman and Page Knight as Sontag comes home in 2nd place. A good result for him. Bad luck, so Ferrari 1-2 today, and Marta will come home over the line in 3rd. A great race from him as well, as there is Gal about to come over the line. He's not had a good race today, unfortunately. Got involved in the crash with Joseph Willows, and at the start, Zafri, good result for him in 10th place, as he comes over the finish line. As there's the Super Guri as well of Adam Wolf, and there's Strachan behind in 12th, coming over the line. So who is actually in 4th place? There's Surkoff in 13th. 4th place I don't think has come over the line yet. Who is in 4th? Thompson just holding off Southgate in 15th. Volker is in 16th. And is that Evan Byrne? Evan Byrne has come home in 4th place. What a result! He was swept well under the radar. I had no idea. He was in around the top 10. I was not expecting him to get into 4th place. That is a fantastic result for him. Waze Kuba gets home in 5th. George Roque will be in 6th. Joseph Will is just behind him in 7th. Great race from Byrne. I don't know how he got up there. Wow, that was well done to Evan Byrne. Definitely his best result so far this year. He's had a lot of bad luck over the past couple of seasons, and finally that bad luck has gone away. As here we are for the official race results. Will Nella takes the win, and Felix Sontag in 2nd, Jiri Mata 3rd, Evan Byrne in 4th, Waze Kuba 5th, George Roque 6th, Joseph Willis 7th, Jack Boyman 8th, getting the last points, Page Knight 9th, Azul Zafri 10th, Adam Wolf 11th, and here are the rest of the finishing order. You see, and the retirements were Mackenzie, Willows, Moitian, and D'Alessio. Fastest laps of the race, fastest laps set by Jiri Mata McLaren with the 2 Ferraris just behind him. Mackenzie in 4th, Southgate in 6th. Good result for him. Roke all the way down in 9th. Not particularly fast race from him. Kuba actually set the fastest lap, 1.5 seconds off, but managed to fortunately hold off Roke, so well done to him. So here come the rest of the finishing order. Whitting didn't set one, neither did Delacio. Gal didn't have a good race. And here is the point standings. Nella takes the lead from Joseph Willows keeps the lead, sorry, from Joseph Willows in 2nd, Sontag 3rd, Marder 4th, Roke 5th, Mackenzie 6th, with Boyman, Knight, Willows and Byrne with his best result of the season, completing the top 10. 16 drivers out of the 22 have now scored points. Ferrari leading the constructors by 9 points over McLaren, who are in turn 10 points ahead of Sauber, with Williams in 4th place ahead of Toyota, Red Bull, Renault, Toro Rosso, Honda, Force India and Super Aguri. That has been a great race. That was a good Spanish Grand Prix. Well, not as good as the others this year, but good nonetheless. And that has been the Spanish Grand Prix. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you for the next round. I have been Stado, and peace.